Most controversies don't start loud. They start quietly, with a decision that feels harmless at the time. This is the story of how Matthew Montano sent a few messages, and those messages turned into something much bigger. It began with DMs, private, unannounced, unnecessary. Matthew Montano reached out to a freshman. While that alone doesn't sound too serious, context is everything. Because in environments like this, who you message matters just as much as what you say. According to what we'll call unwritten social rules, communication typically flows in one direction. Upperclassmen don't initiate contact downwards unless there's something that they need or a clear reason. Matthew didn't provide one. The messages weren't public, but they didn't stay private for long. Screenshots appeared, then reappeared, and with every resend, the tone of the conversation changed. Individually, the messages looked normal, but when viewed together, especially by people who weren't meant to see them, they raised questions, not about content, but about the intent. This was an outrage, it was something more dangerous, interpretation. In situations like this, people don't ask, is this allowed? They ask, why is this happening? And when there's no clear answer, they assume the worst possible one. Matthew didn't address it immediately. There was no clarification, no explanation. And silence, whether intentional or not, filled the gap. Silence is rarely neutral. In fact, in social environments, it often reads as confirmation, not because it is, but because people want closure. That's when Matthew stopped being a person and became a topic. People weren't asking him questions anymore, they were asking each other. This is the moment reputations change, not through thanks, but through repetition. Once a name is attached to uncertainty, it sticks, even after the story moves on. It didn't matter what Matthew meant. By this point, meaning was irrelevant. All that mattered was how it looked. To a lot of people, it didn't look good. Eventually, attention will shift elsewhere. It always will. But moments like this don't disappear completely. They settle. Social missteps don't need consequences to have impact. Sometimes awareness is the consequence. Matthew didn't necessarily break any rules, but he crossed a line that no one had to explain. And once that line is crossed, you don't get to decide how people remember it. And that is why Matthew Montano is permanently known as the Math Steen.